If you're watching this video, there's a high chance and possibility that you will become very rich. You cleared the first step. The first step is knowing what you want. If you're watching this video, you know that you want to make a lot of money. The hardest part is believing that it's possible that you can make a lot of money and achieve your desires. I had a mentor sit down with me, and he's a very successful public speaker. And one thing that he told me was that making $1 million wasn't hard for him, but believing that it was possible was the hardest thing that he said that he had to overcome. And once you go over the hurdle of realizing that, of knowing what it is that you want, and it's very hard, and I understand it's very hard, especially when the things around you physically does not match up to what it is that you want in your mind and the things that you're going after. But I want you to take a very clear look. I'm at the St. Regis Hotel right now, and I want you to take a look at this. There's all from the golf course to the buildings to everything that you're seeing right now. I want you to keep in mind that it all started up here. Everything that you see around you has all started from a thought. That's all started up here. The good thing is that you know what you want, but if you can believe that it's actually possible for you, that can increase your chances of success. Now, there's many ways that you can increase your belief system. I believe there's a belief system that we all have. There's a way that you can improve that by the words that you speak. Very successful people, they pay attention to the tiny details. They believe in the power of the tongue, the different words that you speak, to the thoughts that they speak in their head. There's a technique that I learned from one of my mentors, and that is the mirror technique. Not many people know about this, but it's said to say that if you speak to yourself in a very positive manner and you speak to yourself in the mirror, that can, if you speak to yourself positively, then that can increase your ability. Even if you don't believe it now, if you can ingrain your mind and constantly tell yourself something that, because we're constantly telling ourselves lies every single day. Whether you believe it or not, we're constantly telling ourselves lies. Whether that is we're not good enough, which is a lie, and believing that you are good enough is a lie. But I want you to take in the truth that is actually going to help propel your life. So whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. So focus on the things that you say to yourself and focus on the thoughts that you speak, because everything is vibration. Everything around this world, it permeates from a vibration. And if you can really hone in and really match the vibration of what it is that you want, and even if you don't believe it now, lie to yourself and tell yourself that you believe it, soon it will come into fruition. So that's the first thing that I've learned. So the second trait and the second philosophy that all these successful people were able to hone in is they believe in the law of cause and effect. Now you may be saying, Marco, what do I mean by that? Now, and I have a spiritualist in Bali who also believe the same exact thing, but I see this in a lot of business leaders as well as a lot of artists. But one thing that they believe is that like causes create like effects. So the things that you do today, no matter how small, they look at every minute detail of the things that they do in a given day, because they know that whatever they do is eventually going to catch up with them in the after effects. For example, I hear a lot of people on Instagram, you have people on Instagram and people on social media who tell you, follow your passion, do what you love, and do what you feel like doing. And I feel like that's very important, to do what you love, but I feel like people kind of misconstrue do what you love to do what feels good. And one key thing that I realize is that successful people do what's necessary. They do what they have to do, not what they feel like doing, because they know the results that they want are going to come, but they have to do what is necessary. Very high performers, high profile people, they're results driven. They focus on the little things that they do, and they focus on the little minute details, from did I go to the gym today, to did I call all the prospects I needed to call today, to did I go in the session for at least 30 minutes? They focus on the little things because they know in the long run it all adds up. So the law of cause and effect is extremely powerful. So pay attention to the little details of what you do every single day. So we may have all heard of, you can be a jack of all trades and a master at none. And I believe that is very true. We have a lot of people that say or claim that they're successful in this and and this and this. True successful people realize the thing that they want most, the thing that they truly desire, and they focus on that. They don't focus on becoming the best. You know, for example, let's say if you do videos, you're not focused on becoming the best editor, the best videographer, the best filmmaker. They're focused on the thing that they're gifted at, and that is being on camera. To people that run businesses, they're not focused on these little minute details, such as Henry Ford. Henry Ford is a good example. Henry Ford was not one of the smartest people. I don't believe he went to college. He wasn't the smartest person in the room, but he always hung around people who knew the things that were specialized in order to make the operation work. All you have to do is realize the thing that you want and become good at the thing that you want to be good at, but you don't have to be good at everything. Because if you give 25% to every little thing, what are you giving 100% at? So focus on the one thing that you want to truly lock in on and do that to the best of your ability. And if you can focus on that one thing and truly make that the best as possible, that will increase your chances of success. So focus on one thing at a time. I'm gonna be honest, y'all. Like this next trait that I realized I'm not perfect at. I'm learning myself. But one thing that I realized is that highly successful people, especially people that have accumulated a lot of money and started from the ground up, more times than not, they've made a lot of money, they've lost a lot of money, they made a lot of money back, they lost a lot of money again. It's constantly flowing. But one key thing is that they've learned over time to manage their money accordingly. It doesn't matter if you're earning $30,000 a month to $3,000 to $30 a month. They realize that by setting aside money, whether that's for two reasons, setting aside for your future to invest and make more money, and also to set aside money to save, is very important. Because in a lot of cases, it takes money to make money. And if you, at this particular time, if you ain't got it, you're not able to expand and have those opportunities. But one thing I realized, nevertheless, is to manage your money, because there's a lot of millionaires I know, friends that I know, they're still learning themselves, and they make $1 million, but guess what? They also spend $1 million. But the highly successful people realize that no matter how much money is coming in, that they set some money aside. So whether that is, even if you're getting $30,000 a year, setting a little bit aside can make a big difference in your financial future. The most important tip, and I'm speaking with this one with enthusiasm because this is my favorite tip, my favorite lesson that I've gotten. And I want to sit over here when I say this. Right now, y'all, I'm at the St. Regis Hotel, and it's a beautiful view, beautiful golf course right here. But this is my most passionate tip that I'm about to give you right now, and that is follow success. I had the privilege of being mentored by a highly successful person, and with that, I mimicked exactly what he did to become successful. Now, a lot of people that are self-made and made a lot of money at a young age, or are going to make a lot of money at a young age, or become successful, and no matter, even if you're young, old, whatever, they imitated those that have already been successful in the field that they want to be successful at. Whether that is in the business, they find the leader in their industry and they do as they do, because as they follow those successful people and they do as they do, they're able to emulate that and do that and apply that to their own thing. So to give you an example, at the time when I was 17, I didn't have a business at the time. I didn't start my first business until I was around 18, 19. I didn't start my first business. And one thing that I realized when I wasn't busy or anything like that, when I was mentored by this person, I lived with him. It was my uncle. I lived with my uncle. And during that time, I would see him on different meetings, like very, very, very important meetings. And I would cook him breakfast, and in the background, I'm listening to him on these different meeting calls. And because I grew up, my family I didn't grow up rich, and my family, we didn't see success. But there was a special thing about my uncle that I realized that if I imitated the small, minute details, like I said earlier, from how he walked on the phone, how confident he was. I believe that if I was able to imitate that, I could also do the same thing. So imitate success. I don't care if it's from how they walk, to their posture, how they express enthusiasm through the day, to how they speak, their hand gestures, how they approach calls, no matter what it is. It could be very small. Do as they do. Because the more that you imitate those who are already successful, that will increase your chances of also becoming successful. And the rule of thumb is, success is nothing that's, just been created. It's something that has been created before us. The successful people that you look up to has also emulated those that have been successful. So follow the wheel. Don't reinvent the wheel. Do as other people have done, and you will also become the same. And this is my final thing the final trait that I'm going to go over is that you have to, this is not if, ands, or buts. It's something that I had to learn, and it was so hard for me to learn. But you almost have to take accountability for everything that you do. No matter how small it may seem or appear, you have to take accountability. In this life, we're all self-made. But it's crazy because only successful people will admit that they're self-made. Every little thing that you do, I don't care if you're working a job, you're self-made. You created the very reality that you're living in. And if you can take accountability and not blame outside forces for, being the reason of why you are where you are, and you can actually hone in that you created this, then you'll realize that you have the power to change your reality. So it may feel uncomfortable, because trust me, it took me therapy to do this. But if you can actually realize and take accountability for your life, it's going to be uncomfortable. But if you can do that, you'll realize that you have the power to also change it. And that will change your life forever.